Hey, you want to know something I bet you didn't know? This is the 12th junkyard in 6 weeks to mysteriously...
Are you a Christian?
No,
You're not a Christian? Do you believe in God?
I believe in the universe.
How about God?
How much do you think of what we know is a lie? How much are the elites hiding from us?
I mean, obviously, this is my own personal opinion, but I think we're being lied to almost habitually.
About everything.
About a vast majority.
Profoundly more powerful than it was just 9 months ago. To be blunt, work that we would usually do with people with masters and PhDs in finance over the course of weeks or months being done.
It looks like The Rock is paying his dues because look what he wore at the Met Gala. These celebrities sure do love to...
All right, y'all. Welcome back to The Foundation. A1 Luck here, and you're tuned into The Awakening, a channel where each one teach one, and the truth shall set you free. Now, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Remember, everything in this video is for educational, entertainment purposes only. Now, without further ado, let's get woke, people.
Hey, you want to know something I bet you didn't know? This is the 12th junkyard in 6 weeks to mysteriously burn everything in it. Now, let me ask you a question. If you were about to take off all of the older vehicles that are on the roads, and you didn't want anybody to find parts, how would you do that? If you were about to say, you know what, we don't want all these older vehicles on our roads anymore. We're going to put new mandates. We're going to make you buy cars with sensors. We're going to do all this stuff. But how do we stop people from continuing to keep their old cars? Maybe burn all the junkyards? No, that couldn't be it, right? Like, that's just too smart of thinking, right? That's conspiracy thinking, right? This is just an accident, right? No coincidences, right? Stay safe, America.
AI is stealing the Hollywood spotlight. Dreams of Violets, the first ever fully AI-generated docudrama, premieres at the Tribeca Film Festival next week.
There's no way for me to go get millions of dollars to make this film. So.
Director Ash Kusha says the film cost just $2,000 to produce and 2 months for AI programs to generate all of the film's imagery. No cast, no crew, and a fraction of the money and time it'd take with traditional movie making. Amazon MGM Studios this week announced 3 new kids series written and voiced by humans, but animated with AI tools. But after facing backlash, the creator of one of the series, Punky Duck, pulled out just 2 days later, posting, "I am absolutely understanding the concern of using AI to assist an animation pipeline." And Lauren Brantz, the creator of another character, Cuppy, sharing on Instagram that she's horrified and disgusted that the AI series is moving forward without her input.
It's kind of that balance of how can it cut costs, which a lot of people hope it will do in some avenues, but also not impinge on creativity.
We reached out to Amazon and have not yet heard back. And also here in Hollywood, Netflix, one of those big streaming giants, announcing that they're starting a new animation studio in-house that will create AI-generated content. Tony?
Very interesting. Jolene Kent, thank you.
My prediction is that there'll be more robots than people. So,
but how do you then have human purpose in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, you know, nothing's perfect, you know. But I mean, it is a necessary. Like, you can't have both. You can't have work that has to be done and amazing abundance for all. Because if it's work that has to be done, then you and only some people can do it, then you can't have abundance.
Then it's narrow.
Yes, narrow. Yeah. Exactly. So, but if you have billions of humanoid robots, and I think there will be, I think everyone on Earth is going to have one and going to want one, because who wouldn't want a robot to, you know, Assuming it's very safe, watch over your kids, take care of your pet.
Profoundly more powerful than it was just 9 months ago. To be blunt, work that we would usually do with people with masters and PhDs in finance over the course of weeks or months being done by AI agents over the course of hours or days. So these are not mid-tier white-collar jobs. These are like extraordinarily high-skilled jobs being, I'm going to pick a word, being automated by agentic AI. And I got to tell you, I went home one Friday actually fairly depressed by this, because you could just see how this was going to have such a dramatic impact. Like, and when you witness it in your own four walls, when you see work that used to be man-years of work being done in days or weeks, it's like, wow.
Palm Beach Pete is running as mayor of Palm Beach in 2028 for the next election. We are living in a timeline right now where the dude who got famous for simply being a Jeffrey Epstein doppelganger and lookalike is currently trying to be a political figure by running as the next town mayor of Palm Beach. I almost started to feel sorry for this dude until I saw how he was promoting his campaign. He is currently running as Palm Beach Pete. He's not even running by his name. He's running as Palm Beach Pete. And what happens whenever you search up Palm Beach Pete? I wonder what happens. Like, literally, this dude's entire political campaign is being backed by the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein.
Y'all, the first clip, crazy. 12 junkyards in the space of what, 1 week or something like that? 1 or 2 weeks, but 12 junkyards. As soon as it's being, I guess, advertised that they're supposed to be bringing out a new line of AI cars or something like that, so they're trying to get rid of all whatever old cars or old parts. So once you're not able to get no parts, eventually you're gonna wanna buy one of these smart cars or whatever the case may be. But let me know how y'all feel about that. And for the second clip, they get tight, y'all. AI now is becoming to take over Hollywood. It's a fully AI movie that's being made, and then the cost of it is next to nothing. So do you think they're really gonna not wanna do that, knowing how greedy certain people can get? This is getting out of line, y'all. And then the third clip is like, will there be more basically robots than humans soon eventually, being that they want so much AIs and everybody want a robot to do everything for them. Nobody want to do nothing no more. Everybody prefer a robot or to easily be done through, you know, AI or the easy way out. It ain't really the easy way out sometimes, people. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And then look at the fourth clip now. It's like AI is even beginning to replace doctors. And now this is going to become a problem for them. This is why I guess it's like an AI campaign out there on to reversing the process of AI or whatever. Like, because now it's taking the doctors' places, and the doctors ain't going to have that. They're going to this is high-end jobs now too. Like, high-end, low-end, every job is being replaced. Everything is getting done. Like, this is crazy. But let me know how y'all feel about that. And then the fifth clip, I threw that in there just to show y'all more of this Palm Beach Pete slash you know who, because now he's running for mayor of Palm Beach, and believe you me, he probably make it, you understand, because it looked like he got some type of backing behind him that only the other guy could really obtain and have. So what's really going on here? But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
Are you a Christian?
No.
You're not a Christian? Do you believe in God?
I believe in the universe.
How about God?
I believe, and you call it God, I call it the universe, because the universe is everywhere. So I believe everything starts with the universe. I don't play Christianity, I don't play Muslim, I don't play Baptist, I simply play love.
So when you say universe, are you saying the universe is God?
Right, yes, that's, you call it God. I say the universe. I say it's always, everywhere, all the time, sees all things, everything. So what you say God, because see, for me, in my humble opinion, especially in our community, God got a lot of restrictions. God got a lot of rules. God jealous. God be mad as shit, Jesse. God gonna punish you and send you to hell. I don't want to fool with him.
See what I'm saying? We gotta Like I said the other day, I told somebody on Instagram, I said, it's a frequency war. We breaking curses. We got to break the spells. Okay, you can start with rotating the dollar amongst each other. Even though we know it's monetary, rotating it amongst each other kills its power. It's the fact that we don't rotate that dollar amongst ourselves with each other that it has power. But if we gave each other and get, like I give, that's why I give, because I give. I will never give money power. So I'll always have it because I'm not chasing it. I'm not living for it. I'm living in my purpose. You feel me? And I'll give just as quick as I'll receive. So when you give like that abundantly without expecting nothing back, money has no power. You're not giving it power over you. But when you giving power over, you hoard it. You ain't gonna give nothing to nobody. You ain't trying to help nobody. You any little bit you get, you hoarding it. I don't care if you made $100, you hoarding it. I don't care if it's $1 million. Ain't no difference. It's you gonna give. That's how the giving is how you break the curse, because you have to understand it's a us thing. It's a spiritual thing. We have to kill that energy of of giving it power. Because somebody jumped and emailed me like, I thought it was in game. Why should we be giving back? What type of shit? Because I did a give back challenge. Like, cuz Smoofy, you breaking the matrix by giving back. Nigga, it's the fact that we don't give back to each other that creates competition. And then once competition is created, now it becomes what they want, a dog eat dog world. And now we are killing each other, robbing each other, selling drugs to each other just to make $1 that we spending back with them. You feel me? Like, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying?
How much do you think of what we know is a lie? How much are the elites hiding from us?
I mean, obviously, this is my own personal opinion, but I think we're being lied to almost habitually.
About everything.
About a vast majority of things. And it's all because it's a matter of social engineering and manipulation, especially when you got certain 3-letter agencies that are just chronically doing certain things in order to manipulate the population into a particular set of beliefs that they can actually be manipulated. I think one of the advantages of COVID is it's made people stop and think, believe the science, believe the science. Well, I do believe it when it's real science. But the fact that we were lied to so much, what happens is now people are standing back and questioning everything, which is, in one sense, giving them the state of our world is actually good. On the other hand, they're questioning stuff. You're just like, why are you questioning that? I mean, that shouldn't be questioned. I think that given what the government's doing, and given what, just even what you see on mainstream news media and by corporations, I think we're being manipulated and lied to on a regular basis.
I do too, about everything.
I mean, even when the things would go better for them if they just came clean and were transparent, they can't. It's like they gotta lie to us about it. And I think what it is, it's really a fear of losing control over us.
How much are they hiding?
Yeah.
How much history has been manipulated by institutions?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think a large amount of it is. It's so bad that when stuff started happening in Ukraine, I said, okay, there's probably a war going on, and it's probably Russia that's invaded, and it's probably Ukraine's on the receiving end of it. But that's about all we know, because they lie to you so much. For example, 4 years ago when that thing started, they said that Russia was almost defeated and their military was crushed. Okay, we're 4 years into it and they're still hammering them. They weren't telling us the truth in the beginning.
I think the entire Iraq war was a lie.
Yeah.
The whole fucking thing. I think it was a big money grab for KBR.
Yeah.
We just looked it up. They made $39 billion off that one war.
Yeah. Well, most wars are that way anyway. I mean, they're really just orchestrated if somebody stands to gain, either financially or by power.
To take the time to build a narrative to tell the people so that you can go in there and enrich yourself. I mean, it makes you wonder how much of look at the Epstein stuff. I mean, everywhere you look now, the COVID stuff, all the fraud.
Yes, exactly. Well, and that's why, even like with stuff with Epstein, I tell people, we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg. Even when we hear about bad things that are going on in the church, we're like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The rot underneath it is so bad.
Have you seen the Iranians burning statues of Baal, saying that Israel and the West is under a demonic influence?
Well, if you consider the fact that at least in the United States, we actually shot down the fornication laws and we allow people pornography and everything else. I think that's generally true. I think that in the West, there's a serious problem with impurity. I sometimes wonder if people actually knew what was really going on in our government, they'd probably be hanging these people from lampposts. So when you see evil, you see it.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret.
For almost 190 years, the elite members of the Skull and Bones have sworn an oath to keep the society's business a secret. CEOs, Supreme Court justices, diplomats, and U.S. presidents. 64 High Street, New Haven, Connecticut. Across the street from Yale University campus is the home of an ultra-secret society, the Skull and Bones. Since 1832, the Skull and Bones has initiated some of Yale University's best and brightest.
The question we need to ask is, what exactly are they keeping secret? How do they come out the other side of this tiny initiation cult to become some of America's top leaders?
Phi Beta Kappa is born in the 1780s as an honor society for top students. Its oath of silence keeps many of its secrets hidden.
Phi Beta Kappa, which had come from the Masons. The Freemasons is in effect the grandparents, through Phi Beta Kappa, of Skull and Bones. Edward Everett, he later became president of Harvard, but he panicked. He didn't want his beloved Phi Beta Kappa to be associated with the Masons. And so he called a meeting of the chapter. Well, of course, the graduates outnumbered the current class, and they did what their president wanted, and they ended secrecy in Phi Beta Kappa. Belatedly, Everett realized that he just ended a key rule of the first American fraternity without consulting the senior chapter down in New Haven.
In response to Phi Beta Kappa's new direction, 2 junior members leave Yale's oldest honor society to found an oath-protected senior society of their own.
They decided to start Skull and Bones at Yale in 1832.
Controlling the institution from within, and arguably Skull and Bones has done that historically.
For the Skull and Bones, the oath would not only bar them from discussing society business, but also from ever admitting membership.
Alright, y'all, first clip, Monique. You know, she was a great actor. I guess she had been blackballed for a minute, whatever the case may be, but she's basically speaking on taking parts of no religion, you know, and she was a part of Hollywood and all that, so she knows what's going on. So she basically takes parts of no religion, she said, and basically her basically saying, you know, she believes in the universe. Basically, God is the universe. You know, you understand, and that's what she believes in. So let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. In the second clip, free Rashad Jamal, because he's speaking on the frequency war that been going on, and how y'all feel like, is it time that we gotta break the frequency? You know, we gotta break the spell. We gotta higher our frequency, and break the spell. You understand? Like, treat each other differently. You understand? We gotta figure out how to maintain a balance between each other. That's the way we can always help each other, so we can break this type of bondage or this spell that been going on for how long now. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. In the third clip, the exorcist is basically speaking on what he thinks the elites are lying about, and basically it's everything. So what's next, people? As we've been saying, like, everything we've been told, everything is a lie. Every single bit of it is a lie. So what's the big picture behind the lies? You understand? And when we gonna stop falling for the bullshit lies too? Because a lot of us still under the doctrine of it. But everything in this video for entertainment, educational purposes only, y'all, please. And then the fourth clip is basically the Skull and Bones Society. You know, a big part of what we're speaking about now. It's like, y'all been a society since 18, how long, 32 or whatever now. It's like, what secret have y'all been hiding for this long with this Skull and Bone shit? What do y'all know that we don't? And why is it, like you said, it's a lot of actors and doctors and a lot of big names and big people come from y'all society of the Skull and Bones. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
It looks like The Rock is paying his dues because look what he wore at the Met Gala. These celebrities sure do love to humiliate themselves.
The most masculine men, but not that I'm one of them, but the most masculine men wear lava lavas and skirts.
Mr. Idris, can you see the fashion piece right here, sir? Can you see the front?
You don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about does following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear.
Last year, it was Shabuzi. This year, it's The Rock, Damson Idris, and a whole bunch of other black men degrading themselves at the Met Gala. And it's not even just the men this year. Did y'all see what Doechii wore? And then Serena Williams? Why would her team not tell her how crazy this looks? And let's not forget Cardi B. She was literally dressed as an intestine. Now, we all heard about the so-called dress ritual, where they allegedly pressure male celebrities to wear dresses and skirts, like it's some kind of symbolic emasculation ceremony. But now, Cat Williams is saying people miss the point completely. According to Cat, the dress, or any outrageous outfit, is a loyalty test, a sick little game of how much are you willing to degrade yourself to stay in our club? It's about obedience, submission, and breaking you down so you'll say yes to anything they ask next.
That's what makes information so powerful is, you don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about does following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. And everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is.
But then Kat went even deeper, saying all of it. Celebrities wearing weird stuff, getting humiliated on purpose, those fake controversies you see every other week, and even this whole push they keep calling the trans agenda. He says it's all connected. He claimed it's tied to Baphomet worship. Like the elites in Hollywood are literally doing occult rituals while we're sitting here arguing about outfits.
So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was gonna be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future. And that somehow calling people the goat would be normalized over the sheep being always the most popular reference.
Now let's talk about this year's Met Gala, because it was a mess. Almost nobody was on theme. Everyone was dressed in basic fits, no creativity. And then of course, there was the obligatory man in dress. This year it was The Rock, who wore a skirt along with a $3.3 million watch. And when asked about it, he said that in his culture, only the manliest men wear skirts.
Great. Well, what I shared with Tom Brown's team is that, that first they sent the illustrations over, and hey, is DJ going to be cool with this pleated skirt? And I was like, well, look, in our culture, Polynesian culture, we rock lava lavas, we rock skirts. The most masculine men, but not that I'm one of them, but the most masculine men wear lava lavas and skirts.
And look, it's true that in many Polynesian cultures, men wear a wraparound garment that looks like a skirt as part of their traditional attire. But The Rock didn't dress in traditional Polynesian garb. He dressed in what looked like a woman's suit. And if you check what people online are saying about The Rock's Met Gala,
all right, y'all, this clip, I just had to throw that in there more than Met Gala, but it's crazy that you will see The Rock and certain people up there, like it's this, you could really see the doctrine of the dress wearing in Hollywood, man, because it's getting crazy, and it's like nobody escapes it, but you can see it's clear as day. What y'all think? What y'all think about the Met Gala? Do y'all think y'all see the bigger picture as to where y'all can see the ritual in there somewhere? Let me know how y'all feel about that.
You're a flat earther, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Lord Jamar is a flat earther, everyone. Why are you a flat earther, sir?
Because
It's ridiculous to think that someone can live on a ball, to think that water could wrap itself around a spinning ball, to think that people could be on the bottom of a fucking ball and be upside down because some magical thing called gravity is allowing it to happen.
So the water should be pouring into space then.
Everything should be pulled into space, into the so-called vacuum of space if there's no covering. If we have no covering, our atmosphere, our waters, everything should be sucked into.
So you think we're in a dome?
Absolutely. Although, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Oh, shit. You
Here's
never
the
heard
thing.
this shit, huh?
Hey.
Explain.
Here's the thing, right? There's certain things that they don't allow you to explore, right? So there's certain things that I can't prove. I can't go. I'm
Right,
not
we
allowed to
can't- none
go
of
up,
us can
there
go up there.
and touch this. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is only what I can surmise, especially from thousands of years, because only 500 years ago did they come with this whole heliocentric model. All the different civilizations prior to that knew that we lived on a level plane. Okay. Water always finds its what?
Level.
Exactly. Water always needs a what? A container. You see?
Yeah.
I can't have this drink on the outside of my cup. It must be on the inside of my cup. It must have a container. Okay?
I completely disagree with you.
Okay.
So, you're in New York, it's 8 p.m., it's nighttime. You FaceTime someone in LA, it's 5 p.m., the light is out, the sun is out. How do you explain that?
The sun moves.
The sun moves, not the earth.
Not the earth, the sun. Just like it appears in your eye when you wake up in the morning and the sun is in the east and you literally see it move across the sky. You don't feel yourself moving, but you're watching the sun go from east to west during the day.
So it just bounces back and forth,
You see it move. No, it goes in a circle. It goes in a circle. Okay, so we're saying that the earth can be a level circle. It's just not a ball that you live on the outside of. Let me ask you, where does the yolk exist on an egg? On the inside or the outside?
Inside.
Could the yolk stick to the outside?
No, but the yolk of an egg and the earth, I don't think is a fair comparison.
Water always finds its what? It finds its level. It doesn't find its curve. It cannot curve on the outside of a surface. See, if you can't recreate something in a lab or some shit like that, and you're just telling us some shit.
Show you the real true reason why we have to fly over Alaska just to get to Asia. Check this out.
Now here's the flight pattern on a globe. The guy leaves Seattle, Washington, flies over Alaska, kind of curves around the so-called globe and lands in Asia. Okay.
Now, if you still don't get it, let me break it down to you this way. On a globe map, all the pilot had to do was leave Seattle, Washington, fly straight across the sea to Asia, which would have been the shortest route. Fuel-wise, whatever you want to call it, that would have been the shortest route. But he can't do that because it's impossible. Now, let me show you why he takes the route that he takes.
Now let's have a look at the same route on a flat earth map. Okay, here we have the United States, the west coast of the United States. Here we have Asia, which is where the guy went. Well, look what's right in between. Alaska. So if you leave here, going to Asia, guess where you're going to fly across? Alaska.
Let me zoom in on the map so you guys can see just a little bit better here. As you can see right there, Alaska, right in between Asia and the United States. Now, let's put a marker on there so you guys can see it's a straight line, straight across. Alaska is right in between. So as you can see, they don't choose to fly that route. They have no choice but to fly that route. Now let's check out a flight from New York to Moscow, Russia. Okay, now if you look up the flight pattern on Google Maps,
it will show you a route leaving New York, going through the tip of Canada, then through the tip of Greenland, then through the tip of Iceland, through Sweden, and then into Moscow. Now let me zoom in on this map so you guys can see that better. Like I said, it leaves New York, goes through the tip of Canada, through the tip of Greenland, through the tip of Iceland, over Sweden, and then into Moscow. Now, doesn't that strike a little bit awkward with you guys? I mean, anybody with common sense knows that the fastest route between A and B is in a straight line, as we see here. I mean, you do not have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. It's common sense. From point A to point B is a straight line that will always be the fastest and shortest route. So anyways, on a globe, this would be your shortest route from New York to Moscow. But instead, this is the route that they give you. Now, I'm going to show you why they take this route. Let's go to the flat Earth map. Now, check out what you have to pass to get from New York to Moscow on a flat Earth map, a straight line. Check this out. The edge of Canada, the edge of Greenland, straight over Iceland, straight over Sweden, and into Moscow. Imagine that. There you go. Now it makes sense. The flight pattern makes total sense on a flat Earth map because it has to go straight across those countries to get to Moscow.
I don't think most people realize the amount of conditioning it took and brainwashing it took to convince the human brain, the small child's brain, that we live on an isolated globe instead of infinite land. They put it on every teacher's desks, every library, every movie started with it. Your cell phone opens up to it. They condition you over and over. They ram it in your head like a fucking jelly donut. The amount of work it takes to convince the brain of something so ridiculous is astounding. But if you just let the human brain do what it does, it would assume we live on this. You get in the boat, you keep going, there's more land. Oh, there's an ice wall. We can't get beyond it. And that's where they took us for granted. Right there at the ice wall. That there's nothing more beyond it. I call fucking bullshit. Personally, I think the Earth is a prison planet. Call it what you want. These are all planets. Call them whatever you want. The Earth is our prison, and they hold us in there, and they keep us in here because all this other stuff, at one point they just came to a point they're like, we're not sharing any more land with you peasants.
Alright, y'all, these floor clips I just had to throw in there. I wanted to see y'all point of view and everybody else's point of view out there on what these some good videos to show you the flat earth theory versus this ball, this globe we live on that they've been showing us. Do y'all agree with what we seen just now in these last four clips, or what's being said and to how it's being proven as to why this plane that we live on is more flat than globe? But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
7 of our most famous founding fathers, 17 of our presidents. Our nation was literally molded by them. And the truth is, you know nothing about them. You think they follow the wisdom and teachings of King Solomon. Want to know how wild this is? A fraternity with a lodge in almost every town in America that's been around hundreds, if not thousands of years. And the one thing you thought you knew about them is literally the opposite. King Solomon is symbolically the villain of Freemasonry. And the man that is idolized and followed by this group, you've never heard of. He's mentioned a couple times in the Bible as a simple worker of brass from Tyre. His name's Hiram Abiff. Even most Masons don't know who the hell he is until they get to the 3rd degree, the Master Mason ritual, where the person is blindfolded and physically has to act out the myth of Hiram. In this famous story, 3 of the low-level workers surround Hiram, and they demand he gives them the master word, the supreme secret word of the builder. Hiram refuses. In doing so, he chooses a violent and brutal death. And that secret word that he chose to die over is the same word in the Freemason logo, that G. Most Masons think it means God or geometry. It means gnosis, Greek for knowledge, referring to the religion of Freemasonry, Gnosticism, which is, in layman's terms, the God of the Bible is evil. He has trapped humanity in this cage, and the only way to break out of it and become a God yourself is to break the rules that God has given us. These aren't dumb men. They believe there is enough evidence that there is this Promethean God who is the light bringer, the knowledge bringer. Hiram is a descendant of him. In Kabbalah and Gnostic mythology, the serpent actually gets it on with Eve, and Cain is the serpent's son, not Adam's. And he goes on to have descendants, and Hiram is one of them. So essentially, they're worshiping the bloodline of the devil. This has always been the elite's ideology. When you look into how this fiery serpent is tied to literally every pagan religion, the similarities from Egypt to Canaan to the Bible, they believe it is different stages of this same deity, helping humanity with its war against God.
Entities from the spiritual realm can mate with human beings and produce not fully human replicas of human beings who can walk among us and rule over us. Like, this is a biblical principle?
Yeah, there were these particular rituals that were happening. In the Old Testament, Og, the king of Bashan, is described as the last of the Rephaim. He's one of these giants. Deuteronomy describes his bed, and it gives the dimensions. And the dimensions are huge, so you're like, okay, he's a giant. We found a ritual bed of the same measurements in Babylon. And that ritual bed was used in these sexual rituals to produce the next king. And this would involve shrine prostitutes. These were enslaved women. They would be seen to be possessed by the spiritual entity. And then there would be sexual relations with the king.
The temple prostitute would be the mother of the new king. And the idea was because she was possessed by spirits, those spirits would infuse the new king.
Right. That ritual was common throughout the ancient world. The most recent example is Japan. When a new Japanese emperor succeeds to the throne, he ritually and ceremonially spends the night with the sun goddess. They still do it, but the Japanese government says that the sexual element of it was removed after World War II.
So up until World War II, the Japanese emperor was having sex with a sun goddess?
Go for it! Ears are popping.
They don't care what side of the argument, ball, flat, the New York Giants, New York Jets, red, left, political. They don't care as long as you're fighting. They just want us fighting. They want us separated. They want us scared. The globe model is a satanic model, And it's a model of fear. Asteroids are going to wipe us out. Sun's going to explode. We're running out of fuel, right? They want us believing in lack. We're running out of food. We're overpopulated. It's all lies, right? You could take the population of the world and everybody can live in Texas and half of Texas would be empty, right? So it's incredible how much space there is. And that's with the number they give us, 8 billion people. I think there's 2 billion people, maybe.
All right, y'all, first clip. 7 of they founding fathers and 17 presidents, I guess, shaped the system that we abide by today. What y'all think about that? I don't want to say 7 founding fathers because I don't know who fathers, but they wasn't my father. But 7 founding fathers, and we know who the basically families, we should say, you understand, that shaped this horrible system that we live in today. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. In the second clip, it's like entities that could mate with humans. Basically, I guess these entities go, like they could control other people, or they could, once they jump inside of you, or once your vibration is that low, they could take you over. I guess this is their way of getting in you to mate with others or whatever. Let me know how y'all feel about that, or let me know y'all insight on what he's saying about that, because that's crazy right there. And then the third clip is like, this dude is just sitting in the middle, but I guess the storm hunters, but he's just showing us, I guess, the vehicle must be strong enough, I don't know, to not be lifted off the ground or something, but he's stuck in the middle of that tornado. For these storm hunters, it's something you do, and it's just some things you just don't do. I won't play with nature like that, with Mother Nature. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, these storms, oh, gosh, I'm not messing around. But let me know how y'all feel about that. And the fourth clip is basically the elites don't care nothing about what we do, what we thinking, what we saying. None of this matters. The thing that matters is as long as we out here clashing each other and going against each other, that's all they need us to continue to do. And that once that's being done, they have no problem with nothing else. You understand? So basically that's showing you what needs to be done by us as the people, as the foundation, as one, to just, not go against each other, not fight, not feud over everything. Sports, feud over what you're wearing, feud over whatever, the cars, how much money is not left to feud over these things. It's left for each one of us to help another one. That's it. Each one teach one. Let's go, people. Let's get it done.
Is being reformed. There's a situation when millions of people are about to lose their jobs or will be forced to change their areas of employment. Whole professions might go extinct, replaced, when humans will be replaced by artificial intelligence. A number of areas related to automation, preparing and analyzing documents, writing code, AI is already replacing junior specialists. And in the near future, it looks well poised to replace middle personnel. This process is irreversible and inevitable. Progress is not standing still, and we must be ready for upcoming changes.
Dinosaurs were never real. You need to watch my videos. The word dinosaur means terrible lizard. It was made up in 1841 by Sir Richard Owen. They kept finding the bones of these great... See, in the 1800s is when they got, the Industrial Revolution. They started getting machinery to dig holes in the ground instead of a shovel. And with a steam engine and a big, machinery, you can dig a lot faster, a lot deeper. So they started finding more and more bones. They were finding them before, but it's just much more common in the early 1800s with the Industrial Revolution. And so they said, what are these? These are giant lizards. The word dragon is used in the Bible for these creatures. They're called dragons. Now they're called dinosaur. It just means terrible lizard. Jonathan.
Okay, I would like to know, with Immaculate Constellation, how does this relate to UAP activities, Mr. Schellenberg, in oceanic environments? Are there any instances where the Navy or other maritime forces have encountered UAPs that could not be explained by known technology or natural phenomena?
Yeah, the Immaculate Constellation covers both terrestrial and oceanic, and there's actually a number of cases described in the report that occur in the ocean.
And do you believe that there is a concerted effort by the Pentagon to keep Congress out of the loop regarding these UAP activities, specifically in our waters?
Yes.
I think it's about 5% of our ocean that's actually been studied in detail by man, and we've studied more of space than we had of our own oceans. And so are there any accounts of UAPs emerging from or submerging into our water which could indicate a base or presence beneath the ocean's surface?
I don't know about a base, but as I mentioned, I had a different source entirely describe this pretty extraordinary footage that exists of orbs, of an orb coming out of the ocean and being met by another orb.
Some would say
there's a whole story there, but first let's talk about, tell me more about the circumstances that you talked about this week. What did the Admiral disclose to you? When was this? What exactly did he say?
It's been a while. I get a lot of people who want to disclose things to me, and I'm really cautious about it because, frankly, a lot of it is just theory and things like that. When you hear firsthand accounts, and this isn't the first one that I've seen, there's been sonar. I've talked to several different people that have said this thing, and I believe sonar is underwater. So the way our military hides this from us is because our sonar is probably high tech. I don't know. Is more high tech than anybody else. But the odd thing is we want to hide it from the Chinese. But you and I both know, and America knows, that probably most of the components for our double secret sonar is probably bought from the Chinese. So they pretty much know what we got. And there's basically, I've been told there's 5 really deep sea areas that we know more about the surface of the moon than we know about the surface of the ocean there. And you have a lot of UFO or UAP activity there. And people are sighting these things. You're having sailors, you're having different people all across the world. And the numbers seem to be higher in these areas. And that leads you to believe, is something traveling light years? Is that even possible in our realm of thought? I mean, you're talking about the light from the closest stars left there before the time of Christ when we see it at night. So, you have to think, well, maybe something is here. And has it been here long? And, and I talk to folks in the Christian community and others that think it's part of the spiritual realm. I'm not doubting anybody's beliefs or anything. I'm not trying to rain on that. I'm just reporting what I've been told multiple times, and this is something I've pulled together. So I believe there's something going on, and our government, once again, is spending tens of millions of dollars on something that they tell us does not exist. And that's why
Representative, can you take us back? What exactly did this Admiral tell you?
Well, the last thing he told me was they're real. He said they're real. It was just me and him talking in a doorway, actually, and he described sonar readings of something, and I believe it was described as large as a football field, and the speeds were just something that we're not even close to being able to do underwater. I wasn't thousands of miles an hour. It was in the realm of a couple hundred miles an hour, but still, I think the closest thing we've got something that does close to 40 miles an hour, maybe, or 45, something like that. I don't know, maybe some of our secret apparatus, but anyway, and this is not the first time this has happened. Mm-hmm. And they moved at such a speed that it was just not fathomable in our.
And did that Admiral speak about potential alien bases underwater as well?
Well, that was I put all these conversations together, but that seemed to be the realm of possibility, and that he agreed that as I did, that something traveling is just not in our realm of understanding. But again, I had breakfast with a former NASA engineer with a couple of folks, and one of them asked sort of a smart aleck question, sort of pointed at me, saying, well, what about all these aliens? What about these Martians Burchett's talking about? And he turned to him and said, we have uncovered things that we do not understand. They're moving at speeds that we do not understand. They're at angles, stop and go. He said, I don't know if it's a wormhole. I don't know how they are doing it, but they are doing it.
All right, y'all. Last few clips is crazy. Even to show you, they disclosed the alien bases that been under this water. Someplace that been researched, like they trying to go to space so bad, but yet they say it's only like 5 to 10% of the water that been discovered. Let's go, people. Let's get this done. But you reached the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And remember also to hype me up, hype me up, hype me up, please. And before we go, gotta leave y'all with a few words. Who can't hear must feel. Those that feels it knows it. And once you know better, you do better. And the truth will always set you free. I'm out.